everyone, welcome to Tales from the Casino Pit. This is a podcast about stories in the casino industry. And now, here are your hosts, Jay, John, and Mike.
I gotta do a remix of that.
Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing in the entire world. I love that.
Yeah, we kind of just added in like the video part, but really it's more about the audio since we're doing the podcast. So yeah, welcome everybody to the third episode of our podcast, Tales from the Casino Pit. My name is Jay. Welcome everyone from the Casino Industry Canada group. Welcome from the Facebook group. And now we are podcasting on Spotify and iTunes. So cool. You guys can check us out there. Every week we're going to be posting up a new episode. So my first co-host, as always, is...
Hey, everybody. It's John. Great to see you and chat to you again on a Wednesday. Hopefully you're all doing well. And I'm really looking forward to chatting with Heather and Mike and also Jay.
Awesome.
Those kind of just we're the alsos. I'll just say that here. I'm Mike, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk to you guys. First chance to talk to Heather, so really excited about that. And as you can see, I'm ready for golf.
Or the Toy Story movie.
Or Toy Story movie. One of the two. This is an Indiana Jones hat, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a nice black cowboy hat, a la Justin Timberlake and everything else.
I'm looking at that Iron Man hand behind him.
Oh,
what
yeah.
did you do to Iron Man?
I know. I had to get the snap. Actually, it was a birthday present that I got a long time ago because I'm a huge Iron Man fan, being a Stark and everything, you know.
Oh.
So. Yeah, I got one from Uncle Tony. We'll do that.
I was sure you were a Captain America fan, but whatever. We can talk about that offline.
I agree.
Well, the Captain America shield is on the other wall.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Heather, it's really quite deceptive how huge that glove is because it's quite far away. When it comes on, it's huge. It's awesome.
That is so cool.
It is. I'll bring it out for one of the challenges.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you just throw in a comment there. Say hi. Just let us know that you're alive and you're in. We're going to do roll call right now. But this is our podcast. This is our second season, but the first of the new names. So, I'm really excited to have all you guys on. So thank you so much for joining. And of course, our special guest this week is...
Hi, I'm Heather. I'm Heather Ferris from Vegas-Aces.com, and I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much for having me on your show. It's always so much fun being around you guys and everything. You guys are such a blast. I always have so much fun.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, two of us are really fun. So, hello, new person, Peso. Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for.
Hey, Peso, how's it going? Thanks
for joining. Awesome. Three of us are awesome, definitely. All right.
I'm starting to feel like it must be me that left one out. So I'm like, they're like the old one. It's like the old cranky guy. He's like, he's probably the old one who speaks funny. He's the one who's not fun and cool.
Oh, guys, I'm just kidding. However, oh, look at this. Hello, Robert. Nice to see you. Thanks for jumping on.
Hey, Robert.
It is Wednesday. I wasn't here last week. I know that John, you and Mike were on, and you had Colin on. It was really good to actually listen in on that episode. It was awesome to hear about the stories and the whole update with him playing in the world's longest hockey game. So, I mean, it was really like the pictures were awesome, and I mean the stories were great. So to have someone in the casino industry do something like that, I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was actually cool. I mean, to listen to Colin and see how Heather, if you never listened to last week, a friend of ours, Colin, was in the world's longest hockey game, and it was 11 days at 252 hours, and a continuous game, and they raised like $1.9 million. And at sometimes it was like minus 50. So, and they're all playing outside. So yeah, it was crazy.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really awesome to hear all the stories and all his his inspiration for everything. It was really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some amazing pictures, and especially seeing that puck. Oh my god! So yeah, Heather, like minus 50 is like, I don't know, in Fahrenheit it's like minus 2,000 or something like that. I don't know. Antarctica weather basically. It was incredible.
Anything below 50 degrees Fahrenheit is too cold for me. So
yeah. How is the Heather weather down there?
it was okay. So this is supposed to be like really hot right now. Okay, this is like the end of March, beginning of April. We should be in like the 70, 80 degrees area, sometimes 90. And then yesterday and the day before, it's cold and it is windy and it is rainy, and it is just so strange because we never have this kind of weather like in March/April area. So I woke up the other day and I'm like, is that rain? Like, do I hear? We only hear rain like twice a year. So am I hearing rain? And I had to look out the window. Oh my God, we are. It's raining. Okay, I'm staying inside the rest of the day. We are not walking the dog.
Go ahead, John.
I've still got my snow tires on. So it's like, when you're like, oh, we get rain twice a year. I was like, what? Yeah, it's just.
Dude, if I moved anywhere where there's snow, I would die. I wouldn't know what to do.
Just before we move on with our content, of course, we have a couple more comments. Just wanted to say hello. Oh, look at our movie star there, Nicole. Who will
Hey,
be
Nicole,
on,
how's it going?
Yeah, she will be on. What is that TV show? Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Yeah, so they got to feature her casino in there. So can't wait to see that episode. It's going to be pretty awesome. And Mr. X Rodil. Hello to 3 out of 4 awesome ones.
I'm kind of hoping he's having a dig at you there, Jay.
I think he's definitely a dig at him. So.
Yes, I do have a brother in the industry. His name is X. My parents don't like using a lot of letters in our names, so I'm Jay. He's X. Basically how it works. So Heather, this is the first time that we've had you on in a while, but this is like, I want to say the first time that we've actually not had any crazy audio issues and whatnot, because every single time I try to get you on here, it's always going to be like, oh, we had some issues with like the mics and everything else and a lot of feedback. So this is really nice.
It's something with my energy, because no matter what I do, there's always troubleshooting involved.
Yeah. I love the background too, actually.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's the view from my condo. I have a high rise and everything, and I got like the perfect view. So you are so close to the strip there. That's amazing. Amazing.
Exactly, yeah.
It makes me want to travel.
Yeah.
Actually, the first time that you were on, Heather, we did an on break with, and there was one actual portion of the video that I do want to show here. I never did it with John or Mike, but I only did it with you, and I thought it was pretty funny. So I just want to show this for the people that haven't actually watched it. Here's the clip. You ready?
Okay. First thing on my mind. Got it.
Okay. Favorite game to deal?
Roulette.
Favorite game to teach?
Blackjack.
Favorite game to play?
Pie Gat Tiles.
Favorite casino you've dealt at?
Oh, Rio.
A casino you want to deal at?
Cosmo, so I can make 100,000 a year.
Best place to buy casino supplies?
Oh, Spinetti's.
Best convention in Vegas?
The Star Trek convention.
Favorite Star Trek franchise?
I love Deep Space Nine.
Best video game of all time.
Portal. The Portal series.
Ugliest Facebook friend.
Ugliest?
I'm just
I can't
kidding.
say
I'm just
that.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I only had 9 questions, so I was just messing with you.
That was really good.
That was fun.
You know what? That was the first time that we actually talked too, so I was a little like nervous about actually like throwing that. But after like talking with Heather, like before we actually did the whole like recording and the rest of the video, it was like I think you talked about this last week, John. It's just like when you're sharing stories with people that are in the industry, it's just kind of like natural where it's like, hey, even though we haven't worked in the same casino, we've kind of gone through a lot of stuff together. So yeah, it's incredible to just kind of go through that and yeah, no, Heather, I was happy you're like a good sport about it, because it would have been kind of awkward if you're like, oh my God, who is this guy?
I'm just happy I didn't say any names.
I'm now not. Now I don't want to be your friend on Facebook, because you'd be like, next time you'd be like, oh, it's John. It's John. not my old ones. They're all so attractive. It's John. Yeah, he's the ugly one. He doesn't even have any hair.
I don't know. I know some pretty ugly Ferengi. So
There we go. Seriously, that'd be a lot of fun to go to Vegas for the Star Trek convention.
well, you're always welcome to come out and do it. It's a 5-day event, and all of the actors are out here. They have a bunch of different like photo ops that you could do with sets. So they have like the old bridge. They have 10 Forward, the bar in there. They have a transporter. I mean, like they have so many things that you could take pictures of. They have like a Borg station and everything, Cork's Bar. And at Cork's Bar, like the actors will go and have a drink with you, and you'll like sit there and just chat with them and everything. And everybody's in cosplay, so you feel like you're doing something, Star Trek related. It's really fun.
Saying that, did you see that
cool.
William Shatner turned 90 yesterday? Was it yesterday or today? But I was like, holy smoke, he's 90 years old now.
Yeah. And his birthday was on the same day as Sinequa Martin Green. I hope I said her name right. She's Michael in Discovery. Yeah. So they have like the same birthday and everything. He is old though. He doesn't look it. William Shatner, He looks more, I would say 65-ish.
Yeah, definitely was a 65 to 70 range. Yeah, he doesn't look 90 at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been all Botoxed. That's my guess. I'm just guessing.
His agents can neither confirm nor deny that.
Allegedly, he's got chemicals to make him look that young.
So Heather, who's the coolest person that you actually got to meet out of like the whole cast and the whole franchise?
Aaron Eisenberg. He plays Nog on Deep Space Nine, and he was the nicest, friendliest, kindest, most gentle, caring person that I have ever met in my entire life. And I was just so amazed by him. And an example would be he had 5,000 people on Facebook that he was friends with, and he actually followed people. Like who would give a crap about any of the Star Trek, fans that follow him? And he cared, and he would, follow and like the posts and comment. And the most amazing thing is like when you went to the convention and you saw him at the table, he would remember all of that, and he would ask you about that. Oh, how is, your family member, or how's your dog doing after that surgery, or, and he was just so gracious and caring and amazing. And I feel like the world really lost a good soul when he passed away. So.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, because most celebrities are not like that. I mean,
Exactly.
I remember once years ago, when I was working in Britain, we had this kind of like comedian came into our casino, And he was kind of like, he was famous kind of like in the 90s. He was him and another comedian, they had like a duo, and he came in, and my friend intentionally kept saying the wrong punchline that he always used to use just to annoy him, and he got so mad. Every time he kept going, that's not my punchline, that's not my punchline, and he's like, oh, don't lie, I know it's you, and he's like, it's not me, that's not my, and he just got angrier and angrier, and it was so funny. He might have been a really nice guy, but we just, kind of like wound him a bit too tight, and he just exploded.
That's hilarious. Well, guys, if you're online, make sure you say hi. We have some viewers joining in right now. Welcome. Thanks for joining the podcast. It's nice to see all of you. Heather, you also have, you're also part of a podcast. Not as G-rated as this one, but did you kind of want to share a little bit of information about that?
Thank you. This is so much more Star Trek than I was expecting, and I do appreciate that because I love Star Trek. So I do have a podcast. It's called Starfleet Underground. You can find it at starfleetunderground.com or on SoundCloud. I just want to let everyone know, do not listen to this podcast with kids in the room. I am warning you, do not do that. It is not kid friendly. There might be a couple awkward questions your kids would ask during the podcast. So yeah, highly recommend do not let your kids listen to this. It's a group of 4 of us, 4 of my friends, and we got together, and we are a crew on the USS Butler, which is a original member of our crew that passed away last year. So we named the ship after him. And we meet every week, and we talk about different Star Trek episodes, and we have a really funny way of looking at it. And the best review that we can get is people are dying laughing. So if you're into Star Trek, if you want to do like one of those episode reviews and have it not be at all G-rated, check it out, starfleetunderground.com.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, I
up for that one.
Yeah, you should. I listened to a couple episodes, and I'm like, oh no, okay, it's a little different side of Heather for sure.
It's a little raunchy. It's funny.
Yeah. No, total fun. Yeah, I couldn't keep going because you guys were talking about Discovery, and I haven't caught up yet. So I was like, oh no, like there's just going to be a lot of.
We are talking about Enterprise.
What?
You were saying you were watching that, right?
I finished it. It was on Netflix. I was like, oh, which one should I actually watch? And then I ended up watching that. And yeah,
we're doing Enterprise right now. So.
Ooh, I enjoyed it there. Okay, so before we go to the topics here, I want to just hit a couple more comments here. This is Nicolette. Hello, Nicolette.
Hello.
Hey, Nicolette, how's it going?
Who will be on next week, actually. So pretty excited about that. I don't know if I'm supposed to spoil that, but I am spoiling it right now. Rob asking, is Casino Edmonton paying you for the advertising? What do you mean, advertising? I don't see anything conspicuous.
We should start with like the product placement all over the site.
Yeah, that's actually. I just put that up. I can't even point the right way. I hate this part of StreamYard because it's like, I can't even point at John. I don't even know which way I'm going. Anyways, the Casino Edmonton, that's actually a shirt that they gave us during one of the meetings, which was hilarious because at the time when I was working there, like Mike, you were a games manager, and I'll say this. I love that company. It's fine. I'm not a manager there anymore, but when I was, there was only one time where I didn't feel like I was part of the team. And it's when you guys started coming in with these like nice gray pure hoodies. And I was just like, where'd you get that? Oh, it's like, oh no, that's just something that we have for promos. Like the first time I heard about it. And then like Mike, you came in wearing it. I'm like, what the hell? Like, why? Where did you get that? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. And it was like this really cool hoodie. And I never got that hoodie ever. And I was just like so like heartbroken about it. I was like, whatever. So I kept all of the Casino Edmonton stuff, before the whole switch over and everything to pure Canadian gaming. So yeah.
I'm kind of hoping Mike has two.
No, I only have one.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone only has one, and I don't have any. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. Water under the bridge, right? Anyways.
You can share it.
No, thanks. Just cut the sleeves, Mike, and I'll just wear the sleeves, and then you can wear it like a vest. So you can
all right, done.
Also, because Heather is on, I also have my player cards from our first trip ever to Las Vegas, and a couple of room cards. Those are some old school, from the early 2000s. Like there's a Venetian, the Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo. Yeah, the cards that we were getting because we didn't have any money to actually play. So.
Can you bring it closer so we can all see them?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, I actually have the. I didn't put New York, but I actually have New York as well. But these are. I just thought I wanted to put something there on the back so you can see my. There's a Bellagio card. That's the dark one there. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yep.
That turned out good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then, so that's all the ship stuff in the back here from like our trips. Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Martin. So then I have like the license plates there, and I did like a little collage. So that's the background that I have here until I start like actually setting up this room. I'm in the basement now, so it's really cool to kind of have something set up.
You were moved to the basement?
Yeah, just so I can be loud and say, whatever I want. And like my table is going to come down here too. So then like I'm trying to set up the lighting so that it's proper. And then
are you soundproofing?
I will be, yeah, eventually. But
nice.
Who knows what's going to happen there. But anyways, yeah. Just one more comment here. Nicolette says, not me, it'll be my mother, Nikki Starr, who'll be sharing all her many years of the casino history. Yes. So that's going to be next week's episode. So excited to kind of hear that. Okay, cool. Okay, before we go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna because I'm not sure that many people know what Heather does, and it's really kind of amazing. So Heather, why don't you tell us what you do on your like really awesome site?
You mean not the Star Trek raunchy stuff?
Yeah. The stuff you can show your kids.
Right. So Vegas-Aces.com is the world's first free dealing trade school. We help teach people learn how to play and deal casino table games, and then we help get people a job in the casino industry without having to pay to go to school. So that is our corporate activism. That is how we give back to our community. As far as the business goes, Vegas Aces LLC, we help table game inventors bring their ideas to fruition. We create their table layouts, their rack cards, custom equipment, promotional material, and anything they need in order to get their game into the casino and promote it during the field trial or during the placement.
That is the coolest job ever.
Oh, thanks.
That is very cool.
Thank you. It's really fun seeing new games. I think that's like my favorite part is seeing all the different ideas people have for new table games. So
that's cool. But quickly, just off the top of your head, what was the worst game you've ever seen? Like off the top of your head, you look at it and you're like, "Oh, this is horrible."
So Let It Ride and Big Six. And my experience was with the Big Six. The very first time I started dealing, one of the new girls started dealing with me. She was put on the Big Six. I was put on blackjack. She couldn't deal the Big Six, and anybody could deal the Big Six. But what she was doing was she would pay what was it? She wouldn't take the bets first. She paid all the bets, and then she forgot which ones were the losers, so she paid the losers too. And then she just kept doing that because she couldn't figure out like which one was the loser. Yeah.
All right.
They fired her immediately. They didn't even like try with any other game. They're like, you're just fired. You just need to leave.
Yeah.
So,
You need to choose a different career.
You need to choose a different career. This
Yeah.
is not the
Yeah.
career for you.
We would like you. We're giving you the opportunity to be successful somewhere else.
Maybe you should look into different skills and everything. Different people.
Nicolette says,
Yes,
you mean
let it die.
right. Yes, exactly. We would call it the same exact thing in our casinos.
oh my goodness.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Ultimate Blackjack or Canadian Stook? Have you heard of Stook? Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Yeah. What can I say?
There's
Mike,
a reason for
what can you say about that?
How so that bad?
Yeah, terrible. All terrible.
I don't know how you can try to
Robert, do you remember? I don't even remember.
Do you remember the rules? Like how to do it's a card game. Is it a blackjack variation? I can't even remember. It's been 20 years. Oh my goodness. I want to show
I
Heather
think it was
this. Yeah.
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 I remember I never had to deal it, but like Let It Ride or all those other donkey games. But sometimes they'd throw me in the pit and say, John, go and watch those games. And I would go over there and I'd be like, I've no idea what's going on. These are stupid games. Why am I doing in this pit? I need to get a better job.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's so many games that came in during that one time. There was so at our casino we always had Caribbean stud poker, Caribbean stud, Caribbean draw poker. And then there was Red Dog. There was this game. Do you know this game, Heather?
Oh, no.
Sigbo. So yeah, this is like Canadian craps. basically, what you're doing here is you're rolling 3 dice and then you're just betting on the combination. And you can bet anything with those, with that board there. So yeah, we had that game, which sucked. No, it didn't suck. Sorry for the Sigbo creators there. It was fine. But then this whole like influx of like other games, Spanish 21 came in, 3-card poker, Let It Ride, Wild Jackpot poker. Oh my god, there was a whole schwack load of like side bets that came in as well. Yeah, John, you had a photo there and you wanted to actually ask.
Oh, I actually saw this on another casino group, and I'm sure it's in Vegas. And to be honest, I was like, "Oh my god, what is this?" So, okay, just give me a second. And I just really, Heather, I thought, I'm sure you may have seen this. So, what are all these bets around each box? I was like, "Holy smoke!"
Oh.
It's blackjack with 6 other bets on it. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, man, that would be a nightmare to deal. I would be so confused. Just like, yeah,
they're starting to get really interested in doing side bets, and they're trying to add as many side bets as they can. And you can see there's like several different side bets on here that you normally see, just by itself on a blackjack table, like 21 plus 3 extreme and everything. And I think I see Lucky Ladies on there. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, the one on the very end there on the right.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's like party bonus. I was like, oh my god, this is it's like, okay, let's get rid of all those other games. We put them all onto this one table and deal like one shoe at an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, can you imagine how confused everybody would be? Like everybody's drunk. Like, what does that win on again? No, that's that one. Oh,
It's like they're trying to bring an income with that, but then the dealer's so confused that it slows down the hands per hour, so they don't really make an income.
Exactly. Yeah, I can understand the theory behind it. It's like, okay, let's put these bets on. We make more money, but you slow the game down so you actually lose money.
And And then the dealer's so confused; they're paying lost bets and everything. And
Oh yeah, and nobody knows what's going on. It's like, I don't know. Does that win? Was that last time? I can't remember.
Oh, that's brutal.
I love to be a player. Go to the table. It's like, do you have lucky sevens here for blackjack, lucky, or lucky ladies? Like floor soup will be like,
You have
yes.
everything.
Exactly. It's there.
Yes.
It's that square there. Maybe that's what they're doing. Is just getting them off every other table and putting them on one table. If you want to play these donkey bets, I have to sit over there.
It's like you designated at the kids' table, you know,
Yeah.
beside the table.
Hopefully, it's like the kids' table and it's intentionally lower, so you have to sit like really low on the floor, like you do on the kids' table. Like, yeah, that's where the children play. Go over there because it's just all the dumb people play.
6 to 5 blackjack, $5 minimum. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Oh, so on that note, Heather, how popular is 6 to 5 blackjack? I mean, are all casinos paying 6 to 5 now?
It's so relevant. Oh my God. So basically 6 to 5 is everywhere on the casino floor. And the only way you could find 3 to 2 anymore is if you go into the high limit.
Oh,
Wow.
that's awful. That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So on that note, though,
Keep talking.
I keep talking, and Rob is like, "What?" So, with it, like, do you have to have multiples of 5 then? I mean, like, it's bad enough they pay 6 to 5, but do you always have to? Are you just getting like even money on any other bet that's not like a multiple of a 5?
Yeah. So that would be breakage. So if they have $1 to $4 on a 6 to 5 table, then breakage applies, and you would get paid even money for that $1 to $4. So it's in the best interest of the player to bet in units of 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm sure that's not too popular.
Well, there's breakage on every table, you know, like craps has breakage, mini baccarat has big breakage, Paiga poker has breakage. I'm doing a video on breakage on the 8th. So.
No, but I mean the whole 6 to 5 thing. I mean, it's.
Oh, nobody likes that. Everybody hates that. Yeah, but the casinos are greedy. You know, they want more money. You know, and yeah, so they were doing 6 to 5 on the whole. All of the casino floor was 6 to 5, and the only way you could find 3 to 2 was very specific casinos or high limit. So if you're on the strip, it would be high limit. If you are, let's say, at the Stations Casino, you could find 3 to 2 there because it's all 3 to 2. I actually did like a casino survey right before, like a week before COVID happened and all the casinos shut down. We did a survey of the Las Vegas casinos, so you could see what casino has what table and what they offer as far as the payouts go.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll put the link for that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, after the podcast for sure. So, okay, awesome. All right, just a couple of comments here. Red Dog was pretty bad. Oh my God, Red Dog. The only table where you had a little tiny dog, little figurine dog, to kind of say what the spread was. It was in our casino. It was a $1 game, and oh my God. And you were on that game and Sigbo, and that was it. Just back and forth for the whole shift.
Oh man.
Yeah, you needed to like.
I think there's only like 1 or 2 casinos that have Sigbo in Las Vegas. Maybe 1.
Yeah,
We don't really. Yeah.
No.
it's not a very popular game anymore. Stuke was a great drinking game. It has something to do with 2 aces. I know that. So 2 aces is a Stuke. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the only thing I remember of it. And the table was red. That's all right.
I remember the table being red, and you could be right about the aces.
What were we? Okay, yeah, the blackjack were 5-card hands, trumps. Daniel, hello, welcome to the channel. First time commenter there. Nice to have you on. Coming back from break last, gets sent to
It's like a punishment game.
Where were you? All right, guys, you guys are okay? All right. Oh my God, it's 9 o'clock already. Mike, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, are you up to answer a couple questions here?
Yeah, we'll do a couple questions here. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect, because I know you're a busy guy and you have a really good job.
It's picking up.
All right. Okay, sorry, one more thing here. Get my brother in. I got the chance to supervise Dad on Red Dog. Yes, I am a second generation dealer, and yeah, he always brings that up, and it was just funny when those two were talking about how like my brother was like the pit boss of my dad. It was just ridiculous. Okay, so guys, for this podcast, I did want to ask a few questions. So the first question. This came up because there was just a lot of talk about there's like dragon boats, there's the golf tournaments that were coming up. A lot of people are missing them, just because of everything that's happening. My casino that I work for, we actually did our back to work. It was like a type of orientation with the hopes of actually going back. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But we did have our chance to actually have the training, and we kind of learned the protocols. We're missing a lot of the events and the things that we used to do as a group together. So it kind of sucks, but it just made me want to ask a question to all of you. Did you ever participate in, or were you ever part of a casino staff sports team?
Heather,
Okay.
say no.
Nope, I have never been a part of a casino sports team.
Okay. No worries. How about you, John?
A few times when I was when I was working on ships in the Caribbean, I played on soccer teams, and if anybody has worked on ships, people like to party and stay up till way too late, and we would get up and we play like local teams, and these were all like really fit young people and played soccer regularly, and these was just like these casino people would have like probably like an hour's sleep, still drunk. We get up and try and play them. And it never ended well. And a lot of times, I remember one time we played on a beach, and we had subs coming on every like 2 minutes because people were just passing out. It was like that, boof. It's like, oh God, I can't do it anymore. It's like, it's like 40 degrees running around on a sand pitch. It was just crazy. Yeah, that's the only thing I've done.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah. I was on the Dragon Boat teams, some of the Dragon Boat teams at Palace Casino here. The golf tournaments. I guess that wasn't really a team-related thing, but we carried on the Dragon Boats to the ships actually, and we were in Norway. We were in Haliset, and one of the staff captains suggested that we had our own Dragon Boat races there. So we raced the life rafts. We were all the casino crew was in the life rafts, and we had like 8 people with oars out the window trying to row this 3,000-pound raft down the fjord. And I think we made it 20 meters or so. But it was screw it, we're done. Turn on the engines. Let's go back.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. For me, I was only part of, we did like an intramural soccer team. There was a lot of softball teams though. They used to have a lot of those, like a lot of the casinos in Edmonton. Rob's saying here we played a World Cup soccer series between the Edmonton casinos. Yeah, they also did a softball series as well. I never played softball for a casino. And the reason why was before I worked in the casino, I started when I was 15, I was working at McDonald's. And we had like a softball team, and I love softball. And I was like, I thought I was really good at it. Like I could hit the ball well, and I could run at the time. And then there's this one game that we played against like another McDonald's restaurant, and then I was like center field. This guy like popped up the ball, and I went to catch it, and I had like my glove up, and I was like ready. I'm like, oh, I got this, and I wanted to like look cool because there's like a lot of like cheerleader girls that actually worked there at the time. So I was like, oh, I have to like try to impress it. So I got my hand up and I'm ready to catch this ball. It misses and it goes off of my head. And you could hear like I'm down, like face down, like not on my back. I'm face down. I get up and I'm like, oh my God, like this ball knocked me out. I'm like looking over there, everybody is laughing. And I was just like, that was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. Missing that ball and just the sound that it made, like going off my head, it just sounded hollow. And yeah, that's why I never played softball after that ever again. That's funny. Yeah, we had soccer and that was cool. Like and again, I was like the goalie. And like the first game that we played, this was indoor soccer. Okay, so this is for Baccarat, so the casino downtown. It was crazy. Like I thought it was like really good in that. I'm like hitting the ball off, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy. This is like recreational game, whatever. These two guys are playing on the other team, and like this guy passed it across the other guy, and he kicked it so hard it went off of my face, and it just went boom. And like my face was like numb, right? And then after that one ball hit me in the face, I was so scared to play soccer after that. So I was like, every time the guy kicked it, I'm like, yeah. Like confidence gone. So.
Jay, it sounds like you need to play more sports with helmets.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe learn to catch. I don't know. It was the most. Like every single time something like embarrassing happens, so yeah, I get kind of scared. Don't even
Whatever you do, don't play dodgeball.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely not my thing.
When I first came to Canada, my wife used to play softball a lot because she used to talk about softball. So she joined this law firm, and at the time there was a law firm like softball, like league. So they're like, "Hey, John, turn up and play." So I was like, "Okay." I played. When I'm from in Wales, okay, we had like cricket and soccer, and I played all that when I was a kid. We also had baseball, but it was a different type of. We didn't have gloves, right? So we didn't catch them in a glove. We catch them bare hands. So they go, okay, turn up. I'm like, what do you mean I have to use a glove? So like, okay, yes, have a glove. And I was terrible. To me, it was like trying to catch with a bunch of bananas. So I was terrible, and they all knew it. So you see, after a while, they'd be like, just aim for that guy standing there. Oh, they would just purposely try and hit the ball towards me because they knew I couldn't catch it. I was just like, oh, I could throw it and hit it and run and all the rest of it. I just couldn't catch. I was terrible. And what was even worse, my wife played first base, and she was amazing. It was like, oh my God, this girl's so good. And it's like, why is she with that guy who's so bad?
Well, obviously she's with you for other qualities.
Of course, yes. It's my long flowing hair because it's a podcast. My boyish good looks and my long flowing hair.
She was taken by that Fabio Mystere.
Of course, yeah, exactly, yes. Oh, Jay's gone. He's on mute.
Oh, Jay, what happened?
Sorry. Don't we have a picture of John from back in the day when he actually did have hair? Maybe this one?
Oh, yeah. That I don't think any of you were born then, to be honest. That was me and my two friends. That club's not around. Actually, both of them are still in casinos. The one on the right, he used to look like Eddie the Eagle. If you ever seen like the Calgary Olympics, we used to call him Eddie the Eagle. And the funny thing about him, when he was first started, he learned blackjack, and when he was confused, he used to wobble his head like that, and he'd hum. So we started calling him Wobblehead, and to this day, like 30 years later, he's still called Wobblehead.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think that picture was, I was like 20. So that was like 1988. So yeah, I don't think any of you were born in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, John, no, you had hair back then. It was, that
was the same place. There's me and Wobblehead. I'm kind of like about to lick his ear there.
Yeah.
And so that was the first casino I worked in. So that was back in the 80s. And that was at I think it was like some kind of party somewhere. But yeah, I'm still friends with all three, like two of those guys. The other one, I have no idea whatever happened to him. Actually, the guy on the left.
That's awesome. Okay. So for those of you listening on the podcast, I know that you don't know what we look like, but if you do want to ruin that, like the mystere of our beautiful voices, then you can actually go on the Casino Dealer J YouTube channel and see our. You can match the voices to the faces.
Yeah, which one's which?
We should do that. Just have like the pictures.
Who do you think is talking right now? And it's funny because the picture you've got, like, they're all pretty old, those pictures as well. I think mine, yeah, they're all from like, they're all like the casino IDs, Heather, that when we used to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't have any pictures to contribute.
Oh no, that's okay. It's not something common. I always ask the guests if they actually do have any photos just to share, because we had Arden's picture last time, but we also have our own, right? Let's not bring the Arden picture up.
He looked like Manny from Modern Family, and I couldn't stop laughing. I've known this guy for like 20 years, and he's an awesome guy. He's amazingly smart, and he showed his picture, and I was like, oh my God, it's not you. You look like Manny from Modern Family. Look, in the middle is Manny from Modern Family.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I was like, you're being catfished. That's not really you.
I laughed so hard that week. I was just, I don't want to go through that again. I'm sorry, but it's so funny. All right. Okay, guys. For our second question, we'll get a little more serious here. I just wanted to bring up the sports one for the people that are missing it. So I'm hoping that we do go back to work at some point and we can start doing events like that. But I know it kind of sucks. It's been a long time since we've been able to do something fun. Even like bowling nights, right? Like that's something that we took for granted. The mall here, we actually had we had Reds. I used to work there too, which was really fun. But we got to play a lot of, we got to do a lot of things in the mall. Actually, there's more than just that. There's a lot of clubs, and it's crazy. It sucks that we can't do any of that. So I'm just waiting.
Canada is so health conscious, or so healthy and everything. And the reason why I say that is because after work, you guys go and you guys do a bowling team. In Las Vegas, after work, dealers go and they go like drink. Like that's
a couple drinks every now and then. Every now and then we went for a drink.
Yeah.
There was a lot of drinking involved with everything else they did. To be honest, the stuff was like, okay, how do we slow down drinking? Okay, let's throw a ball down an alley. Maybe that'll slow us down. Exactly, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's go with this question. No, let's not. Let's do question 2 first, because Mike's still here. All three of you have gone through a mentoring. You've done training. You've done a lot of mentoring for new students, and a lot of experienced dealers that wanted to learn additional games. So my question now is: should new hires and existing staff pay for additional games training, or should the casino actually pay the staff when they're learning the new games? It's an interesting question because, Mike, you and we went to a school and we actually paid for blackjack. We ended up getting hired and we ended up working in a casino, and we were learning these games. We weren't really getting any money at the time, but then all of a sudden there was this year where it's like, we're going to pay the staff to learn these games. And at first I was like, whoa, like I've never heard of any casino doing that. This is like the weirdest thing, right? And I had no idea how to react to it. But ever since then, like that company has always been paying their dealers. So, from point of view for all three of you, which way should it go? Should we be paying for the courses, or should the casinos pay?
Heather, what's your thought?
I think that the casino should pay for it. The reason why is because the casinos, when they pay for the training in my opinion, is much better than if you said go to a dealing school and paid for it yourself. I had that experience where I did pay for a dealing school, and it was students teaching students, and I learned all of the bad habits. So when I did go into a casino, they had to reteach me everything anyway. And I know I've talked to people who are in the industry, and they've gone to the training centers that casinos provide and pay for. And it's always praise about how good it is. The instructor is there. You're getting one-on-one instruction. You could come in anytime and work on it, work on your skills, and you just get a much better training. You not only get training with the game that you're dealing, but you also get like game security and table protection and customer service training as well. So that's the reason why I think casinos should be the one that is in charge of the training and also pays for the training.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
Mikey, you go.
You want me? Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with Heather. I think casinos should pay. It's funny, Jay. We went through paying for our first class, our blackjack class, and then we were not getting paid for any games that we took. And then as soon as we took all our games, they started paying people. So we got the shaft all the way through. But yeah, no, I think casinos should pay for the dealers, and I think this would help. They could choose their dealers who they want. I mean, if you're having everybody just come and take a class and everybody passes the game, I think you get a little more tailored experience when you are paying for it, right? You can pick and choose, and you're going to get your best possible product out of that.
Mm-hmm. How about you, John?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, but it's two different things. I mean, the casino that I trained in way back when, they didn't pay me like an hourly wage while I was doing the training. I didn't have to pay for the class, so that was free, but I had to do it on my own time, right? So when I originally, the casino trained me roulette, and then I dealt roulette for a year, and then they did actually what Mike said. They would go around and they would specifically ask people like, would you like to learn craps? And typically they used to do every, depending on people leaving, whatever, maybe twice a year they do these training classes. And, they asked like me and 3 other people. And it was kind of like a big it was weird, but it was kind of like a prestige thing. They'd ask like the best dealer to go, at the time, I suppose, do you want to come and deal these games? But you had to go in on your own time. So I had to go in I think it was like an hour and a half before I went to work, my shift started. And then we do the craps training, and then I go to work. So I didn't pay to take the class, but I also didn't get paid like extra for taking the class, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think it benefits the casino, right? So it's like, well, why should I pay to to have to take this game when I want to kind of add to your skill set of dealers, right?
Yeah. Okay, so then how would I be able to develop if the casino isn't offering any courses or classes? So shouldn't I have the option to actually pay as well? See, that's the thing that I can argue both sides of this, right? Because if I wanted to learn craps and I was efficient, but then my casino, for example, they'll offer craps, but then they don't have enough people to actually have the course. So now I'm stuck. How am I supposed to learn craps at this point? If I'm the only one that wants to learn it and everyone else doesn't want to sacrifice their time, or they have kids, I understand that. So that's kind of the roundabout question here. What's there? I don't know if there's a right answer, but
But I think it should, like anything. I mean, I don't think there should be just one set way to learn, right? I think,
Right.
like Heather's got this great site, you can learn stuff there. But I think, like you said, right now, my casino doesn't need dice dealers. So we're not going to do a craps class. But Jay, you want to learn craps? Well, maybe there's some, private school where you could go and pay and say, okay, I'll come back. I want to do a table test. Can I get on the table? I pay this, whatever, So because it is the time. Like I said, with the place I worked in, they used to do it like twice a year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can be a hybrid, right? It can be a hybrid system going on. Casinos know what they have as dealers, and I think they know where they want their dealers to be and what games they want them to teach. But I mean, you know what? Like you said, anybody can surprise. So if you have the option to go in a private school or gaming facility and learn on your own, then all the power to you, right? Show initiative too on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with any of you. I think that's actually, I think a hybrid would be the best way to deal with it. I think that, like Heather, you have your content on, and I think it's a really good path for someone that wants to learn games to actually go and, go on your site and be like, if I'm motivated, I should be able to take it and I should be able to challenge a test. I don't think we have enough of that. Like, well, where we are, where someone can be like, well, I want to challenge this. I want to be able to deal like roulette. Okay, can you pass a table test? And you'll be like, okay, yes, I've got my mentorship here. Like, so like Mike, you trained me and we've been like, working on it for like a week. I think that that can also be acceptable. And I don't think it was like in the past, but I think now it's like when we're trying to like grow the industry and actually have people, want to learn new games, I think they should be given every opportunity and every avenue to do it. So if it means them learning it on their own, you're going to your website. I like Mark's website. Sorry, I love his channel. So like Mark from a True Poker Dealer, he's like, if I want to be a poker dealer, and that's kind of where, for us, that's where the money is, right? That's definitely like an avenue that I'll go, rather than just wait for a casino to, when are you going to have Pai-Gow tiles? When are you going to have roulette? Like, there has to be a way for people to learn the game, and have that opportunity rather than be at the mercy of the casino.
But I remember one time when I was working on shifts, a friend of mine, actually he was one of my roommates, and he didn't deal craps, but he'd played it for years, so he knew all the rules, all the odds, all the the place bets, and he's like, yeah, and he was a good dealer too, right? And he said, oh, can you just teach me like how to deal it, because he's always played as the player side. So I'm like, yeah, okay, we can do it. So we spent about 3 days when we were in port one time, and for the few hours that I got him to deal and stuff like that. And then one night I said to the manager, I'm like, yeah, man, he's good enough. Just throw him on a game when it's quiet. So we did. We just came and just started to let the dealer on the game, right? So I don't know. There should be more options than just okay, it has to be a school. Because like I said, some people know all the rules, the odds, and all the different things like that. And maybe they just need the kind of like the procedural wise, right? What you can do and, on the other side of the table.
Well, you bring up a really good point. The best way to learn how to deal a game is to go play it, because when your money is involved, you're going to learn that game really, really, really fast. And then the other thing is, that's actually one of the reasons why I started Vegas Aces, is because we didn't have that content on the website before. You would go on, the internet, and you couldn't find anything about like how to deal the game. So that's one of the reasons why I started putting all that material up on the website, was to help people learn how to deal different games, even if they didn't have the means otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I agree. I agree with Mike. I think it's great that you have this content available. So, okay, now I have another question, since we're talking about this. For all three of you, is it possible to learn craps or roulette before blackjack? Can I just jump in and learn this game? What are your thoughts on it?
Recommended.
I learned both of those before blackjack.
Okay, yeah, it's a little.
You did. I was gonna say you did.
I learned roulette, and then I dealt it for a year. Then I learned craps and dealt that for like 2 more years. I think, 2 more years. And then I learned blackjack in this dodgy illegal casino in Israel. So it was, and I also learned blackjack and baccarat at the same time in this kind of weird, funky casino in Israel. So it's possible.
roulette is a lot easier than craps, but if you're starting off and you pick craps as the game that you want to start off on, you are picking the hardest game to start off on. Like, this is a game where you have to deal it 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 2 years just to be decent. Not even to be good, just to be like decent. You guys know that. I'm preaching to the choir.
So, okay. So, but my question then would be like, because before, weren't people paying like thousands of dollars to be just a craps dealer and nothing else?
In Las Vegas, we have schools where you pay about $1,000 to learn craps and just craps.
And just craps, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm assuming this is not advisable because again, this is about like personal opinion. Like, how good is this school? Is it, because Mike, if you and I had a school, or John, if you had a school and you were trying to train somebody from scratch, do you think it would be? Do you think that person would be successful?
To be honest, if I was running like okay, I'll teach you how to deal craps, and if they come up and say I don't deal anything, I'd be like, you're just wasting your money because you'll be awful. You won't have the hand dexterity. Because you don't have the hand dexterity, right? The chips dexterity, things like that. To go from like, okay, I walk off the street and I'm going to deal craps, it'll just be brutal. They take it and then they'd leave. I mean, I think craps is something you have to ease your way into and have some dexterity, have some, gambling understanding and awareness, and because it's a fast. And I just think you're setting people up to fail if you set them up straight into craps, which is, to be honest, I think it's one of it might be the most difficult game to deal, right?
And people do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead,
Heather. Sorry.
And people do that every day where they don't know how to deal table games, and they pick a game, and the craps is the game they pick, and that's how they learn, and they go in and they do it for 20 years. So it's not impossible. It's just you're making it really difficult for yourself by, like what you said before, you don't know how to cut checks, you don't know the pressing, you don't have that dexterity in your hands to get started, and craps is such a difficult game.
Mm-hmm. Mike?
Yeah, sorry, Mike, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was going to say that's basically what Heather knocked it out of the park there. I mean, you might be able to get away with roulette as your first game. I mean, you can still be missing some dexterity and stuff like that, but for craps, there's no way. I mean, yeah, just forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, John.
Like when I learned craps, sorry, I don't know how long the roulette training is here, but like when I learned it back in Cardiff, they used to take about 6 to 8 weeks to get your gaming license. So they go, okay, we'll just teach you. And the casino I worked in, they only taught you one game at a time. So they taught me roulette, and they're like, okay, we're going to teach you roulette until you get your gamer's license. So I think mine was like 7 weeks, and it was like 2 hours a day, and it was like 2 classes, and I used to go to both because I had nothing to do. I was like, I'll go to both. But the guy was brutal. He would make us the first hour because he was like massively hungover, and we just like drop cut chips for an hour like that. He'd make it so, and he wouldn't let us speak. And he'd be like, "Be quiet, chip, 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 chip." And it was all like chip work for like the first like hour. And I was like, "Oh my god!" But it was, to be honest, and they were very strict about like the fundamentals of how to handle chips, right? How to like roll cut and things like that, right? So it was really good. It was brutal to start with, and he'd be like, "This guy's so mean. Why is he shouting all the time?" But I think it helped further on, right?
And then you became a dealer and met the players, and you're like, "Oh, it was actually like boot camp."
Oh yeah, and then he'd come in because obviously it was a smaller. They'd be like, "Oh my god, fresh blood! Let's all play on John's table because he's gonna make a mess. He's gonna pay out the wrong number anytime now."
Quick comment here. Patrick says, I try to not admit I know anything except craps. I'll say like I learned craps after Pai-Gow tiles, and I learned roulette last, which in hindsight, roulette probably would have been awesome to like know before learning craps. So yeah, it was definitely difficult because when you're talking about like 1 unit inside, oh, that's 17. So let's just split roulette. It's like, oh yeah, it's just pin, splits. I don't know that. So, I feel that when you have like an all games dealer and you're learning all these games, I think you like Baccarat, for example, like knowing the 5% commission, there's your VIG, right? I think all of those games kind of contribute to like, to craps. And I think it helps you like when you're learning craps, make it a lot easier. So
Yeah, I completely agree with you 100% because you have to do the 3-2 payout, the 6-5 payout. Like you said, the 5% VIG, everything is, something that you've already learned from a previous game. And I just want to point out something real fast. I learned roulette and then I learned craps. So I was on the roulette table on a dead table and I would take my roulette chips, and I know I wasn't supposed to do this, but I would take my roulette chips and I would sit there and I'd practice craps. So I'd practice doing the different bets or the payouts or setting up the chips or, all this other stuff on roulette. And I'd be practicing for craps. And that really helped because I'm on a dead table anyway for 8 hours. I'm getting paid. I might as well, be working on my hands.
Yep.
Well, Mike, you were a pretty awesome games manager then, and I know like during dead tables, you would just let them play with chips. And I think that was the other thing about like it's a new kind of era, just because now everyone's more accustomed to craps. So I think a lot of the practicing is encouraged, and I think John, you actually started that. It's the first time that we had like dead tables when we were on dice, and it's just like, oh here, how come you guys aren't practicing? So I know we had like practice chips.
Exactly.
We still have practice chips in the pit. So if we need to like teach something, I think that's like the perfect opportunity. Like
and roulette chips are perfect too because they don't really care about the roulette chips as much as they care about the monetary chips.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Well, hey, that's a great comment. Anybody else have anything to add before we move on to our third question here? We have like 20 minutes left. You guys good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Sorry, yeah. And Patrick, that's the first time that you messaged, so welcome. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the channel. Nice seeing you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome, Patrick.
So, I ended up... oh, sorry. Here, just a little interlude here. Look what I found when I was, like, thrifting.
Oh.
The radiance of the seas.
Oh, you got a cruise ship coffee mug.
Can you guys tell me? I've never been on this. I've only... For RCCL, I've only been on the Rhapsody. So, what can you tell me about this boat? Either of you?
I never worked on the Radiance. I worked on a Rhapsody. I was one of the supervisors on a Rhapsody. I loved the Rhapsody. I thought it was so much fun.
Oh,
It's
Mike?
the same class, isn't it?
I don't know. I think so.
I think it's the same class. The Radiance and the Rhapsody are the same class, aren't they?
It's a good question. Is this like an older ship? It doesn't say like the time. 859 staff, 2,100 passengers.
Yeah, it's probably old. Just from the size of it, I'm sure it's old.
I think that's the Radiance class of ships, actually. Radiance, Rhapsody, Grandeur. I think they were all in the same class. If I remember correctly. If somebody's out there that can correct me, feel free. Where's Daryl? Where's Daryl when you need him?
I know. He didn't sign in this week, so I'm a little worried. Maybe he fell and he can't get up. So
Exactly. Yeah. Where is his medical alert? If he doesn't sign in, we're like, something's happened to Daryl. He may have fallen down. He can't get up again.
Sorry. Okay. So my third question for this podcast. Well, yeah. Okay. So leading into this, yeah, I said before earlier on in the show that I did go back to work, and then we had our meetings, and they introduced the new CEO for the company, which was cool. And then they started talking about like back to work protocols. It seems to be the same as it was from the first time they were doing their back to work. There wasn't too many differences. And it's understandable. I can understand because there's a lot of things that haven't changed here. So now my question for you, because now it's going to be an opportunity when tourism kicks back, Vegas is expecting like this huge boom. And Mike, I know you and I are gonna go down there. John, yeah, I think we're gonna do some sort of event or whatever. Come visit you, Heather. Make sure you have enough beds there in your place so that you can.
Well,
But-
I
yeah.
have an extra bed, but it's right next to my snake. I don't know if you like that or not.
Well, Mike's
5
yeah.
feet.
Oh yeah.
I'm fine. I think the snake might mistake John's head for an egg. So
Yeah, that's a strong possibility.
Okay, so leading into this final question. If you were the owner of a casino right now, what would you change after a normal return in the tourism industry? What would you do to kind of kickstart your casino? Maybe something different that other casinos haven't been doing that would give you an edge.
Heather, you want to go first?
Please.
Sure. So, two things. One thing would be to answer your question. What I think would be really good is if they had a pit, and if any of you casinos use this idea, I am trademarking it and I want royalties. If they had a pit where they had, like, say, craps, roulette, blackjack, one of each game, no real monetary value chips on there, no way that, anyone could steal anything. And they designated this small pit for pictures only. I think people would really love that, especially this Instagram age, where everyone wants to take a picture, but you can't take a picture on the table. If they have like a certain area where it's designated for pictures only, I think that would bring in a lot of younger people, get them really excited about playing. And then the second thing, sorry, do you guys want to comment on that before I do the second thing?
No, keep going.
I think that's sorry, Heather.
No,
I think
no,
that's
okay,
I think that's a great idea. And if I was going to, if I think it should be like way at the back of the casino, so you'd have to walk past all the real games to get to the photo one, because people would, like I said, people would come in and they look at all the chips and da. Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Thanks. Yeah, and that's perfect. Yeah, have them come in, walk past all the tables, so they sit down and play for a while. Eventually, they'll get up, they'll take the picture, or if someone has a jackpot, they'll go over there and take like the jackpot picture or whatever. And then the second thing too is one thing that I think they should keep from COVID, during the age of COVID, is I think casinos should continue to clean their chips. Please continue to clean your chips. Those chips are so dirty, and it's insane that the only time they were cleaned was when beer was like, dunked into the rack. So those are my two things.
Mm-hmm. Before you guys go on,
that's...
do you think that the hand sanitizer is actually here to stay? Do you think it's going to go away at some point?
I hope it's here to stay. I think it's going to go away, but I hope it's here to stay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mikey,
Okay.
what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think hand sanitizer is here to stay for a while. Do you want me to answer the question now, or just the hand sanitizer one?
No. Forget about the hand sanitizer. It was just a kind of side question, but yeah. How about the question itself?
All right.
Really?
Oh, I don't know. I would. Heather's idea was great, and I didn't. I'm jealous of that. Maybe we can patent that and put it on a TikTok pic or something like that. But incorporating social media is huge, right? Like Heather said, everybody wants to be taking pictures, taking videos of everything now. So putting it on there, and even having a casino page, right? Like the casino has its page where they can post pictures and maybe little tutorials to get people involved and say, hey, listen, you like this page? We're giving away $500 in match plays tonight. Another thing, I'm not exactly sure. I was like having like maybe a celebrity guests more often. I mean, I know Vegas, you get that a lot. We don't get a lot. Like, I mean, our biggest celebrities is fourth line winger that used to play with the Oilers 30 years ago, right? Everybody fawns over them. So we don't get a lot of celebrities up here. I'd like to see a little more celebrities, even just talking, concerts with actual people that you would go see. I think that's what I would do personally.
You guys were so close. You guys had Harry and Meghan for like 2 seconds, and you didn't.
I know.
That would have been perfect.
We did the Harry and Meghan pit, the royal pit.
Yeah. And then another thing with the pit, if you have that pit where you just take pictures, you could put your worst dealers at that pit, and all they have to do is just take pictures and pretend to deal, and that would be like so much better.
Oh, I like that.
Be part of the rotation.
It's like,
Even
okay,
your 8 times an hour, just smile.
all you have to do is smile. Any dealers that they have problems with that they can't exactly fire, just put them in that pit. Perfect.
Sorry, Rob just says.
I like that.
Oh, where's the comment here? Rob just says, "Clean casino chips sounds blasphemous."
Right?
Yeah, no, I'm not calling out any casinos. There were but I'll say there were some pretty sketch chips at some point, and there should be a company that comes in, and it's funny because if there was a company that came in like Vegas, it'd be like, oh, here we can kind of clean these chips for you.
There are several. There are so much. They're saturated the market, and now casinos don't want to do anything with casino chip cleaning companies anymore. There's one of my clients has a warehouse full of cleaning chip machines that he bought thinking he would sell to the casinos, and the casinos like, no, we're done with this. We got our thing, and we're not doing anything else. They use this gel to clean the chips. You put the gel on the chips, and then it keeps the chips clean for like a year or something, and that's what they're using.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because chips are really nasty, right? So
they're so gross. Oh, they're so gross.
Okay, this is what I would do if I had any say in anything. I would double the wage of all those positions. So the dealers, blah, blah, blah. I double the wage, but I would also double the expectation of the quality of the dealers. So it'd be like, okay, this is the standard we'd want. And I would say, if you're not, then you leave. You'd only either hire the best quality dealers in Edmonton. I remember I read years ago about Henry Ford doubling the wage of his employees. And it wasn't because he was just generous, but it gave him the ability to pick and choose who he wanted as an employee. Right now, everybody's trying to they lowered it down to the lowest common denominator and say, okay, well, we just need a policy GT on the table. But why not have the best dealers in Edmonton or whatever your location is, pay them more than anybody, and then pick and choose the ones you want, right? You get a better client experience. They'd want to come back and play. You'd end up making more money for the casino anyway, because you have better quality dealers who, you set a standard. You say, okay, like Disney. Can you imagine if Disney opened casinos?
Yeah.
The experience would be amazing, right? I mean, so I've always thought, well, the casinos, to be honest, I think they underpay the people. And then you sometimes, I used to know this girl, and she'd say, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, right? So sometimes I think they pay so low, and then maybe you get the quality that they pay for. That's what I would think.
I heard that so wrong.
Yeah.
I would love to see Disney.
Good accent, John. Good accent.
I would love to see Disney own a casino.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. They designed, they have cruise ships, but they don't have casinos on a cruise ship. I'm like, man, they obviously make so much money. They don't care about having casinos.
Right? Have Mickey Mouse on the craps table. Have
we talked about this already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How mad would you be? I mean, I remember getting your money taken by Mickey Mouse. You'd be like, I'm gonna beat this. Yeah. Exactly. Those big white gloves, you'd be like, boom. Oh yeah. Maybe-
You would see more viral videos of people fighting Mickey, getting in a fight with Mickey.
When I was younger, I almost got into a fight with, I can't remember, with like Universal Studios. I almost got into a fight with the Barney Rubble character. I was being a bit of a jerk, to be honest, but yeah, I kind of, at the time, we went there and I was like, I think 21, 22, some of that. And, like they see out of that, like the mouthpiece, there's like a mesh. And I was joking around and I was blowing smoke in it and he kept swearing at me. And I'm like, are you supposed to swear? I was like, I don't smoke anymore. It was like a long time ago. Yeah. But, I was going into a fight with Barney, a cartoon Barney Rubble.
Oh, God. That is hilarious. Okay, so what we got out of this question was, John, I really like the whole point about, if we pay them, if you pay double, you're taking the whole market away from everybody else. I mean, that's the whole thing about like competition, but you're absolutely right. You get to choose the quality. And I think a lot of people have a little more respect for that position as well, because if you were the only casino that was doing that, they'd be like, well, I need to like make sure I can keep my job as well. Right. Not as many sick calls and everything like that. So yeah, I think it puts a lot of value in the position for sure.
And I think then it becomes like a living wage, right? I mean, you're not relying on like tips and stuff like that, like I know now it's like the wage is like $15 an hour, whatever. But I know when I started and it was $8 an hour, and they're like, oh, we're going to give you $8.25 an hour. I was like, how much? What am I going to do with that?
We are still getting paid $8.25 an hour down here. I think it's $8.75 now. They raised it 50 cents.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I first started in the casino, that the three of us worked together, they had a kind of like an in-house union, and they were like, "Oh, we got a pay rise." And I'm like, "Oh, how much is it?" It's like 25 cents. I was like, "An hour?" They're like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Okay, that doesn't seem much." It's like, "Oh no, that's over 3 years." So it was like 10 cents, 10 cents, and 5 cents. I was like, "Will anybody notice?"
Yeah.
Sorry, just question, Heather, because I don't never really look at the tip side on your website, but are there a lot of keep your own tips, or is there a lot of pooled?
In Las Vegas, there's a lot of pool tips. Of course, it really just depends on the casino and your location, because everyone does it differently. In fact, there's a bunch of ways that they split tips. It's pretty amazing. But here in Las Vegas, we pool tips on a 24-hour basis. So all the dealers that deal in that 24-hour basis get paid the tips. They split evenly amongst all the dealers. So 24-hour pool here.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay, Robert says, I would love to hear Mickey's YOLO 11.
To be honest, I would love to dress up as Mickey Mouse and have dealt craps. That would have been so much fun. But can you imagine how hot it'd be in that unit? Like, oh my God, it's so hot. Do you know what? The first casino, the first ship I ever worked on, it was called the Premier ship, right? The Premier Cruise Lines, right? And they partnered with Disney. So you do and this was way back in like 91. And you could do 3 days in like Disney World and then 4 days on a ship, or 4 days Disney World, 3 days on a ship, whatever. And they used to have characters who come on. So you'd have like three of them. So it'd be like, because we used to go to this place and it was called like a private island. It's called Treasure Island. There'd be like Schmeed and two other ones. So there's like two girls and like a taller guy usually used to come on. And part of their contract was if they were in, if they ever fell off the ship in costume, they weren't allowed to take it off. While they're in the water. I was like, really? They're like, oh yeah. You have to stay in. They were supposed to stay in that costume while they were drowning. Which is a terrifying thought.
Well, going back to what you were saying, how you want to deal craps in a Mickey Mouse outfit. If you did that, I'm imagining an entire craps table full of people smoking and all the smoke going into your suit and thinking like, oh, look, karma.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it'd be weird trying to see through like the little, like the mouthpiece. Trying to catch the checks with your big white gloves.
Oh, that was so much fun.
No.
So okay, Mike, I know you gotta leave. You are a busy guy, and I know you work early in the hospital. And yeah, maybe I'll see you this week at some point because I have to do some work there as well.
Good. Heather, that was great chatting with you. Nice meeting you, and I'm glad there's another fellow Trekkie on board here. So.
It was great meeting you too.
Isn't it
Once again,
Trekker?
Trekkie.
I thought it was a Trekker. It's really?
Trekker.
Oh.
See, we have to teach him, I guess.
We have to teach him. We have so much to teach you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Mike. Happy early birthday, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You look the same. You look the same as you did
All
all that time.
So that was what he wore under the uniform.
Always. All right, guys. Take care, everybody. Nice chatting with
Mikey.
you.
You too.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Sorry, one more comment before we move on. So back to the topic here. Rob says dealers should be paid a lot more for sure instead of relying on tips and actually be able to get a mortgage. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest issues about making tips, and with claiming and the consistency with it, and that's why a lot of people choose to be floor soups just because of that, qualifying for a mortgage.
Yeah, it's a challenge, right? So I mean, it's things I think should change, but maybe it's a bit better now because the minimum wage jumped up to $15 an hour. But I think it should be a lot more. And if it was more, you get more quality people, right? You get what you pay for, I think.
Yeah, not just in gaming, but like also in like food and beverage is like the one that I see all the time because the bartenders are making huge money with tips and everything else. The servers are making a lot of money just because of like high limit tips, for example. But then you have the supervisors that aren't, and they're the ones that, I think one of the solutions I always had was for them to keep their own tips and to have like one person be the bartender supervisor so that they were making, their whatever their salary is, which usually isn't enough, but then making tips just like all the other bartenders and servers. And I think that's what would you have 3 of those people and you have them run your food and beverage department. They're the ones that do the cutoffs and all the serving and whatnot. I think you would have like a really solid base. You don't really see that anymore just because there's a lot of servers that are like, no, I don't want to be a supervisor because I make more money. And it's always about that, right? It's like, why would I want to deal with this when I can make more money and just leave this here at work? So it's tough. All right. Sorry, I'm not supposed to be talking this much. Jeez. Heather, is there something you can tell us about Vegas on a dealer's point of view or the gaming point of view that we don't know? Is there some dealer secrets that we don't know about in Vegas?
Vegas specifically, huh?
Any secret walkways? Or
There's a lot of secret walkways.
oh, okay, but they're secret. Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the underground, so Las Vegas has the underground where it's all the trails and all the passageways and everything underneath the casinos that the staff uses to move around the property without customers seeing. But as far as like Las Vegas dealers, there's so much. I mean, God, we could go into this. I would probably say that Las Vegas dealers, when you're a dealer and something happens, it's a distraction. Okay. So if someone spills their drink, that could be a distraction. In Las Vegas, the distractions are freaking insane. So you will have people having sex at the table, or you will have people walking around naked, or you will have people doing drugs on your table. I mean, it's just insane. And you just, as a dealer, have to remember these are distractions, and you need to watch your entire table and make sure no one's trying to, do anything funny. So
That's yeah, that's crazy. That is insane. Yeah, I mean,
and watch out for the mole people in the underground. They're pretty scary.
okay. So I was like, I was just wondering how safe that was to actually go to like an underground area, and I don't know.
The underground area is safe. It's just outside of the casino that's not safe. So, for example, when I was a dealer over at, I don't know if I should say the name of the casino, a downtown casino, they didn't have any parking for us. So we had to park off-site, and we would have to walk to the casino, and I work swing shift. So, swing shift is 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. We're talking about downtown Las Vegas at night, and you don't walk around Las Vegas at night, like downtown Las Vegas at night, without being mugged, okay? So it was a little scary. Now, the casino I was working for in particular, we were lucky because our parking was the same parking garage as the police. So Metro Police, that's where they parked. But you would think that was safe, right? But the elevator never worked, and the staircase down to the ground was completely dark. Like the lights never worked. None of the lights on any of the floors. But you are in the dark, and there's no door when you get down, which means anyone could walk in and go up those stairs and down. So we had homeless people in the stairway. We had people doing drugs in the stairway. We had all sorts of stuff happening in that stairway, and that was scary. Walking from the casino to your car at the end of the night, or even at the beginning of the night, was a little freaky. I just went on a whole rant.
Oh no, that's cool. Sorry, yeah, no, I just remember my first time like going to the old strip. I was like, oh, can you take us to free? I'm 21, right? So then, and this is like late at night, so the lights are off and everything. So the guy drives us there, and he's just like, we'll pick you up here, but if you go over there on the right, I'm not picking you up at all. I'm like, okay. So I was like, that's kind of scary. I didn't think of, yeah. So I mean, Fremont's so different with the lights off for sure. So it's kind of
the safe spaces are where the cameras can see you.
Right.
Just remember that.
Sorry, I did have because this was from Fremont. Look at this.
Nice.
So you had like those artist dudes that do like the spray painting and whatnot. So
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks really good.
So I was gonna put that up in the back, but
that would be perfect for in the background.
Yeah, I found this here.
So talking about dodgy, so when I was 21, whatever it was, probably around about there, I just said I went to work in a casino in Israel. Me and my buddy, that picture you showed earlier, he was a guy immediately next to me and this guy Paul. So we were in the lats, and we're like, hey, let's go to Jerusalem. So we went to Jerusalem. I mean, knew nothing about Jerusalem, but we didn't realize there's kind of like certain areas that are kind of like people stay together, so there's like the Christian section, and then it's like the Muslim section. So we went and stayed in one place, and we tried to get a taxi from one place to another. And the guy literally said, okay, I can drive you to this street, but I can't cross this street because they throw rocks and they'll stone my car. So we had to literally get out, cross the road, get into flag down another taxi, and then go to where we were going. And then on the way back, it was the same thing. The guy's like, well, we can't go over there. We can't cross this road, because the people will stone us. And we was like, this is crazy. So then, we had to stop and then get out and cross the road and get into another taxi and go, it was so strange. I loved Israel. It was so strange, so different. But it was very weird, though.
Yeah, you can have a whole episode, John, just talking about your stories there in Israel. It's crazy. Just like you getting hit by a fish. Like,
that was weird. And having to smell like it too for the entire night. That was definitely the one-off experience of my entire 19 years in casino, was smelling like a fish while dealing. It was crazy.
That is crazy. All right. Sorry, one thing. Look at this.
There's Daryl. He's alive.
Oh, thank goodness.
We were kind of worried. We were going to send out a medical alert for Daryl.
Nice seeing you, Gerald. We're just finishing up our podcast, actually. So, just any final shout outs? Well, John, first off, before we go to our guest.
Thanks a lot, Heather, for coming on. It was really cool to see you again. You're so smart, and so the stuff you're doing is really cool. I really do think you've done an amazing thing over the last decade with your website and YouTube, and so many other people are trying to follow you and do stuff like that. But it's really kind of cool to be the first one doing it because nobody else thought of it and was smart enough. So credit to you, and it was always great to have you on and listen to you as an avid Trekkie.
Well, thank you for letting me geek out on the Trek, and I really appreciate being on and talking with you guys. And like I said before, it's always so much fun. I always have such a blast being on with you guys. So thank you so much for having me on again, and for all the kind words too.
Well, I mean, it's always a pleasure to have you on, Heather. It's we love hearing your stories. Basically, hearing your stories, hearing John's stories, it's actually pretty amazing. You guys could put a novel or a TV series together with all this stuff that you guys have gone through. So, see, Rob says, loves your stories, John. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Rob. The only thing is, a lot of them I can't really say on here. So I'm like, oh, there's a lot more the X-rated ones or the ones I'm like, I probably shouldn't say this in public. So, yeah. But no, this is, to be honest, I really like, and back to Jay, I really like coming on. It's been, great experience for the last 8 months. I think we've been doing this, and really if it wasn't for Jay, I wouldn't be doing this and having so much fun every week, right? So thanks, Jay.
Oh, hey, no, thank you. I mean, this show is, what did I say? Oh, he's like, hey, you know what? We're like the GameStop, about that stock. We're like the GameStop of podcasts because, we need people to kind of drive us up. So, it's having people like you and Heather on, and it's going to be, I'm hoping the season's going to be really good with the people that we're bringing in, just a lot of new guests and whatnot. I think this is what it is. This is our channel and everything, and the Casino Industry Canada group. It's about sharing these stories and just people in the industry. I really want to highlight that because I think a couple of weeks ago we talked about who's the most famous person that's been in the casino industry. Heather, let me ask you that before we sign off. Who's the most famous person that's worked in the casino industry?
Like an actor in the casino industry?
Famous, just the most famous person.
Lefty Rosenthal.
Wow.
So to explain that real quick, I would have to say my grandfather was the casino manager at the Stardust when Lefty Rosenthal was there. So I was maybe 3 months old or 6 months old, or so that does not count at all. But I would have to say that was probably the most famous, yeah. And then just real quick on the off note, not just your podcast and YouTube channel, check out his Instagram page too, because you do some really, really cool videos on that Instagram page. Every time I go on Instagram, I'm like, oh wow, that's a really cool, I should have done a post no, I'm not doing a post like that. That's just cool. I can't even come close to how cool that is. It's just all you. That is just so freaking cool.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with me. It's like I said before, half of what I've learned was from this guy. He's the one that brought it into our casino in the first place. He's he would be my boxman and he'd be like, check this trick out. And I'd be like, no, it's Lord. And then, we'd always be working and dealing. It's oh no, you should just try this press, do this, do this, do this. And to have a mentor like that, it's really cool. And what sucks, I want to, this is the first time I'm going to say this for this podcast, but I never, the people that I get to work with now never got a chance to work with John and, and yourself too, Heather, you have your videos and whatnot, but nobody actually had the chance to work with you, with the people that I work with now. It kind of sucks. So to have this bridge and to be on social media and actually share what we know, I think it's really good to just pass that down. And I think it's just more for the overall benefit of the industry itself. Because for me, dealing is an art, and it's always been an art, and to see someone good, even though I deal crap now, oh my God, you should see my videos are so crappy. It's people are, it's like, oh my god, man, you suck now. And I'm like, don't worry about
You
it.
are your own worst critic. You're good. Don't
Oh
worry.
no, yeah. We were all good like 20 years ago, so in our prime and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just, it's an honor to kind of show what I've learned from everybody else. Everything that I've learned has been passed down, and it's just good to just keep passing it down to the new generation. So yeah. Sorry,
Totally.
before we go off, Daryl says, John, you suck fishy for much longer than that.
Probably true, though. Probably true.
Rob says we should do an old school dealers reunion for all the casinos and maybe do a soccer tournament. Probably no on the soccer tournament, but
You don't want balls flying at your face?
no more. Yeah, let's just leave that. Heather, there's another thing that I wanted to do, but I'm just gonna do it the next time you're on. There's just some awkward moments between us that aren't supposed to be awkward, but then I have a whole clip selection of it, but just awkward. Balls in my face, no balls in my face, Heather. No
let's totally do that next time. Awkward moment. I'm totally good with doing that next time.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. I'll show you the clips. Rob's asking where I'm working now. Well, my full-time job's in the hospital. I am a clinical consultant, but I work once a month while I'm not working right now, but I'm at Yellowhead. So that's where you'll find me. And when we go back to normal, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, you suck. So it's me.
I saw you on, I saw you on Instagram. I thought you were better.
Anyways, sorry, Heather, our special guest here. Any final shout outs before we log off here?
I completely agree with you before about Mark with TruePokerDealer.com. That was really awesome. Again, check out Jay's Instagram because that was so cool. And then I guess should give a shout out to my own website. So again, I'm Heather from Vegas-Aces.com. We have materials for different games up there. So we try to help you learn how to play and deal casino games.
Super awesome. I've always loved your content, Heather.
Thank you.
It's always helped me over the years, and I'm glad that you're still online. And I said that to Mark too, because he was off for a while, but I'm glad that he's back online now too, because it really helps the industry and everybody that's trying to learn games. So
thank you.
John's going to be on at some point. He's going to do some stick calls and everything else. And he should really, like I say, John, you should actually be the true crapsdealer.com guy. And I really think the things that people would learn from you would just be incredible.
You got one upvote here.
See, there you go.
Yeah, Craft was a lot of fun, and I always had a great time doing it. And to be honest, that was the only reason I stayed in the industry for such a long time, right? Because I had a lot of fun doing it. I had more fun with the people on it, the players, and especially the dealers I dealt with, right? It was so much fun.
Okay, well, everybody that's on, thank you so much for watching the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast and watching the live stream on the channel. From myself, Jay, and John, and our special guest, Heather, guys, have a great evening and enjoy the rest of the week.
See you guys. See you later, Heather.
See you guys. Stay safe.